You are listening to BitsCast KE, conversations that matter to young people, bit by bit.
Mazungumzo ya kweli na jamii, uwezo kwa vijana, mabadiliko. Mazungumzo ya kweli na jamii, uwezo kwa vijana, mabadiliko.
Hello and welcome back to BitsCast KE, conversations that matter to young people. Today I'm joined by another interesting person. We'll be talking about artificial intelligence and young people. Exactly, how does artificial intelligence impact young people? So basically, AI, or rather artificial intelligence, is having major impact on young people who are growing and seeing it on use in every single day, and it's being used to, power devices and also give services, solve real world problems like climate change and other diseases. AI is changing the way we work, learn, and also live. It is important for young people to understand AI and the potential it has on their lives. Basically, this include creating new opportunities and equally solving real-world problems. But also, it is important for us to be aware of the risk that is associated by artificial intelligence. My name is Alex Oburu. I'm your host, and today I'm joined by Mr. Martin Gathu, who is the senior developer and also trainer at NairoBits Trust, still the chief technological officer, and he wears many, many hats. Mr. Martin Gathu, karibu sana.
Thank you, Alex. As you have mentioned, My name is Martin Gathu, and I'm a software engineer with over 8 years experience, technical experience in developing enterprise software platforms, as well as visual appealing, accessible, and high-performant client-facing web applications.
Yeah, when you're starting to say 8 years experience, I'm like, where does that even place me? People are doing big things out here. And thank you so much, Martin, for coming to this, conversation. Apart from just, the technical things that you do, of course, we understand that you code and all that. What do you enjoy doing outside your work?
What I enjoy doing outside my work, actually it's all within my work, if I may say so. I'm also nurturing and mentoring budding software engineers. And what motivates me most is to always see one of young talents becoming a better version of me.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, because you've also mentioned that you run training, so it is, coming in really well that you're also passionate about training and mentoring young people. So let's jump into this conversation today, because this is something that, people just think it came here the other day. So can you give us a brief, I don't want to say history, but how did AI just, suddenly appear in 2023 and everyone is talking about, ChatGPT, Google Bard, we have Perplexity, we have Cloud 2.0. How did it even happen?
AI has been there for over 50 years or 60 years or so, starting in 1950s. But what happened was like AI didn't have what was like user-friendly facing interface that people could interact with. But what happened in 2022, mostly by the end of 2022, there was developed a very simple and user experienced interface that people could be able to interact with AI. And the first time people were able to interact, even the people who didn't have like higher technical expertise or knowledge about the AI could start using it.
Yeah, and basically when you talk about artificial intelligence, of course, around 50 years of, it being around, what exactly is artificial intelligence? Can you break it down in a layman's language where anyone who's listening to this conversation can be able to understand this is what it is and this is what it does?
Artificial intelligence can be defined in two ways. Number one is simulating human intelligence by machines. Another thing about artificial intelligence, it's a field of study in computer science where people develop and study intelligent machines. Like machines that can have like a normal interaction just like how a human being is. Like if I come to you today in the morning and say, hello, Alex, you should tell me, hello, Martin, or good morning, Martin. Now, if you go to a machine that's intelligent, it should be able to query it and should give you a feedback, just like the same way as you're trying to converse with a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So it is emulating the way we interact with other human beings and just making it easier for us to automate that process.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now let's jump into the conversation of exactly how does it even function in terms of how does it even change the way we work, we live, and also learn.
Maybe before we get to that, I would like to distinguish, like there are two kinds of AI.
Mm-hmm.
There is something called discriminative AI and generative AI. People have been using what we call discriminative AI for the longest. For instance, you have ever gone to write an email and you did an autocomplete.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, or you have like 3 images here, and then you have a system or a software that can identify this is a human being, this is a cat, this is a dog. That's classification. That's what you call discriminative AI.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that has become the talk of the town is something called generative AI. This is AI that can be able to generate either text, voice, images, videos, or any other multimedia content. So you just need to give it like a scenario and should give you feedback on what you requested it to do for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And is this also whatever you're putting in, is it like garbage in, garbage out, and you also have to be really good with your prompts, or is it, you just give it anything and it gives you anything?
During the internet era, we talked about a skill that was a must for everyone. Knowing to Google was a skill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell everyone also. Knowing how to prompt an AI is a skill that everyone has to learn. If you give it like insufficient information or insufficient context, what AI does something called hallucination. Hallucination happens due to various things, like if the AI was trained using what you call noisy data that wasn't cleaned, or it was trained with insufficient data, or you are giving it like instructions that are not specific. Mm-hmm. It's going to give you answers that are not appropriate. So that's what you call hallucination. So you have to know how to craft your prompts, know how to ask it. It's like how you're conversing with a human being. Ask a question. If you don't get the right answer, you do a follow-up question so that to make the AI to be able to understand better.
Yeah, true. At NairoBits Trust, basically, we use ICT to deliver social economic transformation to youths who are living in underserved areas. Now, basically, this includes, running a couple of trainings. And for the longest time, our training has always been on, get this information, put it on your head, generate something on the paper. Now that we have generative AI, as you've, spoken about it just in a minute, where does this place us, in terms of, the learning and also like working spaces?
I think where it puts us is to adapt to what we're working smart and not working hard. Especially it's something we have to even inculcate into our participants, our student. Nowadays, you don't have to cram everything. You just need to know like the concept, the foundations, the basics, and then you can start building in from the basics or the foundation that you have. So we find a scenario where AI is going to help in 2 ways. 1, to increase efficiency, and 2, to boost productivity. Like if the student was supposed to take maybe an hour to develop a software, when with a combination of the AI, it can speed up the process of that process and having them to have a high turnaround time. Yes.
In terms of, the students just learning about this and they can be efficient and, increase their productivity in anything that they're doing. Do you think that also the artificial intelligence require you to have certain skills? And what are those skills if we have those skills?
Definitely. And some skills are not even coined down. One of them is, as I mentioned, you need to know like to learn the art of prompting it. It's if you don't know how to prompt it, you won't be able to use it. You have to know what you are prompting it first. If you don't know even what to ask the AI, what will you even ask the AI? So learning the basics like the foundations, whether it's for instance, let me give an example. You want to prepare a CV. You must first know that you want to prepare a CV. You must know like the section that are there for a CV, and then now prompt the AI for it to be able to generate content for you in respect to those sections in that CV. Yes.
Now, so from prompting to understanding everything, I think one of the biggest challenges that we are having out here is people just keying in a prompt and getting whatever they're getting from any of those artificial intelligence tools, and then they go and paste it on a particular, let's say, email or caption. So how do they ensure that basically this work is Martin's work, it's not ChatGPT's work?
That's something that we can always debate around, because how you can show someone how to use someone, but how to contextualize that thing, it's up to them. Because you can go and ask, we have seen it even in the government where people are prompting the AI and taking everything and pasting it the way it is. Same case. You can ask for students to do an assignment, they go and prompt the AI to give them the code, and then the key thing, also let us not lose ourselves. Let's not lose our critical thinking. Let's also not lose our creativity. As long as, even if you're using the AI platforms and software and everything, we should also preserve things like critical thinking, creativity, and everything. And that's why you tell the people who are using the AI to may use it in a responsible way. Let them not become over-reliant to it. If you're copying that code, before even you paste it there, could you take time to understand how that code works? Because if you don't understand how that code works, you won't even be able to even explain to the client or a customer.
Yeah. And I read somewhere that artificial intelligence makes better decision by analyzing large amounts of data and identifying patterns that human might miss. For example, AI is being used to predict, customer behavior, optimize financial investments, and personalize healthcare treatments. So the question is artificial intelligence coming to take people's job?
Not really. Artificial intelligence it's not going to come and replace like human employees or human resource. But one of the biggest risks of people who are employed is if you have a professional who is using AI and the other one who is not using an AI. So AI will not going to replace the professionals, but a professional who is using AI is going to replace one who is not using AI.
Yeah, so basically it's just ensuring that this person is functioning more efficient and also like producing a lot of work in a very short time. So if we do not take advantage of artificial intelligence, then we get kicked out of the industry or the workplace.
Absolutely. I always give this analogy. In early 2000s, that's when the computer started getting to the market and they were started to get popular. And there were these people who are working as secretaries who are doing like typesetting and everything. And some of them said, we are not going to learn about computer. But a few years down the line, a lot of secretaries who could not use computers in the office were replaced by those secretaries who could use computers in the office.
So in short, we should be embracing technology and ensure that we work hand in hand with it to produce even more right now.
Absolutely. But I also tell people to approach technology with caution. Not every technology that comes needs to be adopted. Sometimes it's also good to evaluate the technology before adopting it, but always ensure that you stay abreast with the technology.
So how do we evaluate the technology?
Technology has two sides. It's like a two-edged knife. First, it has its own downsides and has its own advantages. And the most important thing is first to check the ethics which this technology is embedded into. Because exactly, and talking about the AI, there are a lot of conversation about the moral ethics of those who uses the technology itself. There are risks like things like deep fake. You can wake up today, I create a video with Alex's voice, and I put Alex portrait there, and people can believe like it was Alex who was making those sentiments. And that's what causes misinformation and disinformation. So for us, it's first to evaluate it. And you as an individual, you also have a responsibility, being a responsible user and also being a responsible consumer of the technology.
Mm-hmm. Now, to take you just back a bit, as we also like start finishing the conversation. What is the thin line between plagiarism and your work now that we have, the likes of a lot of tools that can generate text, videos, images, and all that?
Plagiarism and copyright issues will keep on arising as long as we have AI with us here. I don't know whether recently you heard about some Hollywood actors who sued OpenAI because they used their manuscript to train the ChatGPT. And this is something that we are also trying to do. But of late, there is this movement a movement that has been established. It's called 2CPA, Coalition of Content, Provenance, and Authenticity. And it's it's like a standard, bringing along like software developers and also hardware developers, like setting up standard. Like anytime you take a picture with your Nikon or Canon camera, the image is embedded with the metadata. And then that metadata will always mean to be original to that photo. So even if you check the photo and you go to a software like Adobe, also another metadata is added to that. So this one is going to help people to keep on ensuring like you consume content from the trusted sources.
Yeah. So thank you so much for that. And just to give a bit of context on some tools that people can use exactly, what are some of the tools that maybe you're using? And I understand it's a lot. You can just mention a few and their uses. And people who are listening to this conversation, in case this is their first time to interact with artificial intelligence, they can equally understand where they can start their journey from.
When it comes to tools, I use like almost every tool in the AI, from content creation to even simple video editing. But me, as my primary role as a developer, there are tools that I can pinpoint for you that I use. There is a tool like DevGPT. I know people haven't heard about it. It's like ChatGPT for developers. There is a tool like feed.com. It's like an AI, generative AI platform like ChatGPT, but somehow fine-tuned for developers. I also use like ChatGPT, which is very common to everyone. I have used like Midjourney to generate images, Adobe Firefly to edit and generate images, Durable for creating quick website, which are like no-code website generated by the AI. We have used tools like Kyber for animation and some video. We have used tools like InVideo to edit videos with all these. All these tools are neat. One thing that you need to understand, you need to know your workflow. If you are a video editor, get tools that are fitting you. But also, maybe to mention to this, a lot of companies that offer software as a service or as a platform, they are also integrating AI into their already existing application. A very good example is a tool like Canva. Mm-hmm. Canva has a way where you can go and prompt the Canva to generate for you like images for you. If you go to a tool like, many people use it like Kahoot, it can even help you generate the questions that you can ask on about a certain training. So it simplifies your work. It increases your efficiency and also boosts your productivity. All these tools, they vary from whichever domain you're working, from software development to even audio recording. I know you have heard of a tool like 11 Labs, where you can even clone other people's voice. I can even talk today and modify that voice to be that of Steve Jobs, to be of the president of this country. So all those tools, I have interacted with them. Unless now you are coming on a specific level saying like, if I'm a software developer, what do I have to use? That one I can even tell my own tricks that I use.
Yeah, and we have talked about what is artificial intelligence, areas that it can be used. So there's a lot of things. Now the question is, even giving these possible tools that people can use, what is the downside of, artificial intelligence as we prepare to wind up the conversation?
The downside, I think I had mentioned somewhere earlier. One of them is misinformation and disinformation, especially when it comes to deep fakes. And this one can even create instability, even country instabilities. Like you can come today and release a video just like you are the president of this country. I know sometime back you saw a picture of Pope wearing like a jacket. Most people believe that photo was real. Another downside of the AI is people who are blackmailing others. There was an article that came from Spain like 2 weeks ago where people were using nude or explicit videos and masking other people's faces on those videos, and then they start extortion. Another downside of this is we might be able to lose our originality along the way, especially if we don't do what we call responsible use of AI. People will stop becoming critical thinkers. Others will start becoming overlearned with AI, meaning that in case they go a place where there is no AI, those people cannot be able to produce something for you. So those are some a few of the downsides in the AI, but I believe it has greater goods than the bad side of it. So we don't want to shun it away, but what I can say is, can you use it in a responsible way? Can you also become accountable? Let's also empathize with other people. When you're using it, let's not use it when you're targeting other people or even using it in a malice way.
Great insights from the downside. Now, we also have young people who want to position themselves correctly so that they can progressively, move with artificial intelligence. What is your advice to this type of, segment of young people who want to clearly understand artificial intelligence and be in a position to learn it and also implement it in their work?
My advice to them is, first, they must exercise responsible usage of that AI. And one thing that I need to repeat it for the last time, they have to keep up in line with emerging technologies, including the artificial intelligence. If they're not going to adopt the artificial intelligence, very soon they'll be replaced by people who are using artificial intelligence. May you be a content creator, may you be a software developer, may you be a designer. Very soon, the AI is with us. We cannot escape it. But make responsible use of that AI. At the same time, make sure that you take advantage of it to boost your productivity and also increase your efficiency in your work. Otherwise, another person who is in the same domain as you, who is using AI, may be sending you home packing very soon.
So probably, I guess we are coming to, the last part of the conversation. So I want you to just speak to young people about AI and how it might impact them, just on a general basis.
To the young people outside there, AI, we say the necessity is the mother of all invention. Many people create things to simplify work. Like from when we started even using a jebe, people thought of playing a plow, people brought a tractor. And you'll never prevent an invention which its time has come. So my advice to these young people, make sure that you front yourself as the people who are running these new technologies and adopting those technologies in your day-to-day life. Yes.
Yeah. And also quite a interesting conversation from the moment that we started to up now. And indeed, it has been an interesting conversation about artificial intelligence. And we agree that artificial intelligence has come to revolutionize the way we work, think, and learn. It was great having you, Mr. Martin Gathu, and I'm sure that our audience who are listening to us, they have understood about artificial intelligence and how they can implement it in terms of how they equally work and learn. Thank you so much. As always, this is BitsCast KE, conversations that matter to young people. Keep it locked. We'll be bringing you more conversation. It's a wrap.
Mazungumzo ya kweli na jamii, uwezo kwa vijana.